Welcome to Safety and Survival Tips for My Sisters. I'm Master Naeemah Brown, and I'm excited that you decided to tune in with me today. Hopefully, you established your location tracker buddy. If you don't know what I mean, go back, watch the tip from last week. It is so very important. But today, we are in the training gym because we're going to focus on laying a foundation for self-defense. Self-defense includes a multitude of movements put together to be executed for you to defend yourself and get out of a situation safely. But in order to put movements together, you need to have a base of knowledge or foundational movements to build upon. Today, we will be looking at 3 components of the foundation of self-defense. Number 1, your stance. Number 2, a kick, and number 3, a punch. Self-defense, ladies, is so very important. I just read a study of male and female violent crime victims, and the numbers were pretty much even. But what was disturbing was that when you looked at the numbers from 2005 to 2019, the number of male victims were decreasing while the number of female victims are increasing. That means that violent crime, murder, rape, sexual assault, robbery, assault is increasing when it comes to the victims in the female population. So it is extremely important to me to make sure that we have the tools that we need to defend ourselves. So today we're gonna watch and learn. So let's get up and get to our feet. Now we're going to go into some instruction and demonstration. Make sure the area around you is clear and that you have room to move as we look at the 3 components we discussed today, which will be foundational for self-defense: your stance, a kick, and a strike. We're gonna start from the bottom up. So let's take a look at your stance. Your stance serves as both a base of support as well as a source of power. In order to establish your stance, you wanna first stagger 1 foot. The way you determine which foot to stagger is choosing your most dominant and powerful side. From the side view, you step back with your most powerful or dominant side. The back foot is going to be at a 45-degree angle, whereas the front foot is straight ahead for whomever is the aggressor in front of you. The reason that this stance keeps you stable and powerful is that now you have a foot in every direction that an attack can come from. If someone comes from the front, your foot in the back can catch you. If someone comes from the back, you have a foot in the front. From the side, you have one on either side of you. Then your power is 2 components: your muscular strength and momentum. Allowing your powerful side to be staggered, it turns your body at a 45-degree angle. So in turn, if you are throwing a strike, which we'll learn, or throwing a kick, which we'll learn, you have the ability to now turn and add momentum to whatever strike that you throw. That momentum adds immensely to whatever strength you have in either your legs or your arms. That's your stance. Now that we've established your stance, let's move on to the kick. The first step of your kick is pivoting the front foot. This will add to the ability of the hips to turn and add that momentum that we discussed. So from the side, you're simply pivoting the front foot, allowing your back hip to come to the front. Step 2, after pivoting the foot, you're going to chamber the knee. So pivot and chamber. That means bringing the knee all the way up to the front and pushing the hips forward. Step 3 can be executed 2 ways. After you pivot the foot and chamber the knee, you can either extend with the toes pointed as if you were kicking someone in the groin, so you're kicking up, or you can pivot the foot, chamber the knee, and kick out, bringing the toes back towards the face, flexing the toes, and kicking with the sole of your foot and heel, as if to kick someone in the knee, either on the side or in the kneecap. The reason that I use the groin and the kneecap is that the kick is not like in the movies. We don't want our legs all up in the air, forbid someone catch our leg and bring us down to the ground. Your goal is to hurt or harm that other individual enough that you can get to safety and survive. So you want to keep your kicks low and to areas of sensitivity on the other individual, whether it be their groin or especially their knee, because if someone's knee is injured, it's very difficult for them to chase you down. That's your kick. Our last component of the day is our strike. And there are a multitude of strikes that we will learn and incorporate in our self-defense. Today, we will focus on two. One is the main and most common, a punch. And the second is an alternative for our ladies with longer nails that cannot make a fist in a way that is safe. And in turn, it will be more harmful to them than it is to whoever is attacking them. So let's look at our punch. The first part is the positioning for the punch. So the positioning, you will bring your fingers down and tuck them in tightly, bringing the thumb and tucking that in tightly as well. You can also put the thumb up top if you prefer. However, what you do not want to do is tuck the thumb underneath or keep the hands where the fingers are straight. You want to make sure that you have a tight and compact fist. The reason for that is that the head is much harder than our hands. And our hands are made up of a lot of small bones. So we don't want to leave them in a vulnerable or exposed position that when we strike, we risk breaking our hand, doing more damage to ourselves than to the other person. So let's look at executing that punch. What you want to focus on is driving the punch straight down the middle. And again, as you can see from my hips, I'm using that momentum to add power, that momentum to power factor, adding momentum to my strength to add power. So I'm turning my shoulder, my hips from that 45 degrees and shooting straight down the middle. That back foot pivots as well. I'll let you see that. So that everything from the foot to the hip to the shoulder pivots. The reason for that, it's not like the movies where we're swinging all over the place. Number one, punches and strikes that come from all over the place, telegraph to the other person, giving them more time to react, and also bring down your momentum, which then brings down your power. You want to shoot straight down the middle. The alternative, if you cannot make a fist, the other alternative is the heel, I call it, or the base of your hand. You are going to tuck those fingers still to get them out of the way, and you're still going to pivot, and you're going to shoot upwards with that hand. Everything still pivots. And that is your alternative strike. Now, your aim. Again, our goal is to temporarily disable the other person so that we can get to safety and to survive. So with the head being harder than our hand, you want to aim for areas of sensitivity. With a punch, I recommend aiming for the throat. That's going to temporarily cause the person to choke, and you can get away and exit the situation. With the heel of the hand strike, I want you to aim right here for the base of the nose and push up. I don't know if anyone's ever gotten hit in the nose, even by accident. It brings full tears to your eyes. That will definitely temporarily disable the person so you can get away to safety. And those are your strikes. Today, we learned 3 key components for the foundation of self-defense. I hope that you were able to get up and try out some of the movements. I also encourage you to continue to practice them in your own time until they become natural to you. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this channel with all of the women that you know so that we can continue to build a community and be a resource so that women all over the globe can be safe and survive. If you want to chat with me directly or for other health and fitness tips, you can find me at www.bodyelevated.co, or you can follow me on Instagram at BodyElevatedCO. Until next week, be safe, survive, and stay prayed up.